Hi, I'm Senior Master Sergeant Jackson, the Commandant of 2024 Mid-Atlantic Region Honor Guard Academy. Just want an opportunity to talk to you before we get started in a couple of weeks here. Essentially, I believe in expectation management, so this is a great chance for me to establish things that we need to be aware of, and also to give you kind of a preview of what to expect. All right. So let me tell you about myself a little bit. I retired out of the Army after 30 years, E8 for a Sergeant Combat Veteran. Likewise, I was in Civil Air Patrol as a cadet captain before going to the military, and that's what inspired me to actually join the service. And I have a lot of belief and commitment to this program. Anyhow, let's talk about where we're going with the academy. The one thing is, I have senior members coming back all the time, and I ask them always, why are you coming back? And they say the same thing, the professionalism. And that really is where we're at with this. We attract people because of the professionalism of the environment. At present, we're the gold standard when it comes to honor guard academies and Civil Air Patrol. And this is going to be another good year for us. Every year we get better and better and sharper, and I'm looking forward to the ride this year. And as far as you go, yes, I interviewed most of you, and I know for a fact that the reason you made the cut was only for three reasons. And we did turn some people away, by the way. Essentially, we were looking for people with humility, strong work ethic, and who had a passion for the cadet program. So that's why you're on board with this. I just want to address a couple of issues, and we'll talk on Sunday. Thanks. Okay, so every year we deal with this. We have in our student population a lot of cadet officers and a cadet senior NCOs that come to the academy as students. And this works out usually well, day one, day two, but inevitably, many of them buck the system and show levels of insubordination because I guess they don't like being talked down to because they are officers that may outrank their instructors. This is usually a problem. My feelings on this is it has to be addressed right at the beginning. Okay, if you see insubordination, if you see students that will not listen to the instructors, you need to intervene. You need to engage those. And truthfully, I would like for the TOs to be present when these people are talked to. And at the end of the duty day, I'd like to talk to the TOs about any incidents. I'm not looking to target anybody. I'm just looking to arrest the problem before it becomes a real issue. So again, if you see people that are having an issue with following the chain of command because they feel that they're superior to it, i.e. over-exaggerated self-worth, then we need to talk to that person offline nicely and make sure they understand that they're in a student environment and they need to correct their behavior. And then, of course, if it continues, we will treat this like a progressive discipline problem as we're required to do within Civil Air Patrol. And that right there is your progressive discipline chart in reference to this, and it, of course, is cited as an insubordination, will be treated as such. Okay, bullying will not be tolerated whatsoever, okay? I will address that at the beginning of the course to all the members attending the course. Something to be aware of if you're a TO or even support staff. When somebody bullies, that's actually considered a mid-level offense, and it's not treated like a low-level offense, i.e. a low-level offense is treated in accordance with, of course, progressive discipline. A low-level offense is addressed with possibly a verbal on-the-spot correction. Bullying is intentional, okay? It's not a mistake. That cadet who's doing it knows he's terrorizing another person. So essentially, that is actually, and it's listed in your progressive discipline manual as a mid-level offense. It will be treated as such. Don't worry if you don't understand progressive discipline. I've done a video on it. I'll make everybody aware of how to access it. Thank you. Barracks. Okay, the situation with the barracks has been in the past that I've always done a walkthrough because 2 years before I was the vice commander, and I take pictures of the clothing and the dirty things that are left out to include food, which should never be in the barracks, and I always provide those to the leadership. There hasn't been a lot of effort or movement to actually correcting things, so it's changing this year. We have a barracks czar that will keep an eye on it. We'll establish SOPs. I am not looking for a rigid barracks environment like at an academy or an encampment, all right? If a cadet maintains their living space correctly, outstanding, all right? But if a person doesn't, it's going to have to be corrected. Remember, we're in a transient population. Hygiene and sanitation, since we're in a close proximity, is very important. So again, likewise, Another concern I have is many times in the middle of the night, we have cadets get up and pretty much have dance off or social events, whatever the case might be. Now, I understand if a cadet's getting up to go to the bathroom or if there's a crisis and emergency, there are exceptions to the rule. But by and large, if cadets are up out of their rack after hours socializing, then that's going to actually be addressed. Okay? What's going to benefit us there is this year we're putting senior members in the barracks, so I feel that that probably should end it. And of course, we do have somebody, as I expressed before, that's dedicated to making sure this problem gets resolved. Okay, this is a problem that can exist, which we're going to stop this year, is that oftentimes flights will take it upon their own to teach their own way or their own method and sometimes their own concepts. That can't happen, all right? There needs to be just one standard here. So essentially, this is how it's going to work. Standard Eval will instruct the senior TO as well as the TOs, the flight sergeants, and the flight commanders, all right? So we'll all be from the same standard, right? So when it comes time to execute, I would like for the flight sergeants, flight commanders to do a large portion of the training. Their leadership should be showcased. The TO, though, needs to be there to correct things and keep it on track, right? Essentially, want to make sure that we're committed to that training schedule, all right? That is what's driving us here. Pay attention, and if there's a dispute where between the triad, yourself, the flight sergeant, the flight commander, there's a disagreement, that's okay. A, make sure that does not happen in front of the students because all that's going to do is destroy your credibility with the students. B, just have the TO go to the chief TO and settle it. And the chief TO and the TO, if they can't settle it from this point onward, they'll take it right back to Standing Eval. Why Standing Eval? Because Standing Eval created the doctrine in which we're following, and the training schedule in which is the catalyst for us to get to graduation, ensuring that our cadets are trained to the standard. The leadership triad, I just kind of touched on that a little bit. I wrote a very extensive article, which I really prefer if you actually got into that, because it not only gives you the general philosophy, but it breaks down how things are to be done. Essentially, the triad is the TO, the flight commander, and the flight sergeant. The flight commander should showcase his or her leadership, supported by the flight sergeant. The TO will be there as a part of it as well. Now, I want you to think about this. During a 1 hour period, you guys are going to probably have your people stop every 15, 20 minutes for a water break or in a bathroom break as well. So within an hour's time, you will be stopping 3 to 4 times for 3 to 5 minutes, right? That's your opportunity to synchronize each other. The three of you need to talk. Make sure that, okay, where are we at in the training schedule? Can we meet our suspense? What do we need to do? How are we going to catch up? There needs to be some strategy and planning going on. If you're an hour to 2 hours behind, it's going to be really hard to catch up. So I just want you to be aware of that. The TO needs to make sure that the schedule is being maintained. And then, of course, we're all being trained to the same standard. Okay, final thoughts. Who's really in charge of the Honor Guard Academy? The training schedule, okay? We are committed to the training schedule. This is not an encampment. Encampment is used to develop leadership, and give exposure to aerospace and other activities within our program. Look at the Honor Guard Academy's vision statement. Our mission is to produce Army Guardsmen that are capable of returning back to their units and teaching these things to other members, okay? Train the trainer. So that is our mission here. That's why we have to stay committed to the training schedule, saying that each day and each hour builds upon the next one. So it's kind of important to master these things as they go along. However, if you find by the duty day's end, dinner time, that you haven't accomplished a mission, there's 2 hours after dinner to do more work. Now, I'm not going to single out cadets, but you may want to encourage some to come for tutoring if they need that assistance. Again, I don't want to target cadets, but I do want to facilitate a learning environment. And we're going to have cadets that just outright excel, that masters the program, that want to make themselves available for the tutoring because they're showing up here for all the right reasons, okay? I appreciate you hearing me out on all this. This is going to be another good year. I don't doubt that. I'm looking forward to meeting you all in person. Again, remember one thing. I just got a simple thing for my leadership philosophy. What you allow is what will continue. And just think on that a little bit. You can understand why we're approaching this thing, where we want to resolve the issues from the beginning. We want to sustain, have a good time, and graduate productive members. Thanks for your time. Good night.